These are my top 10 running backs for the NFL this season based on expected production. At number 10, we have Devon Achane. I might have had him even higher if it wasn't for the feeling that Tua is going to miss time due to injury yet again at some point. I have Achane going for 1,100 yards on the ground, 1,500 all-purpose yards, and 8 total touchdowns for the season. At number 9, I have Kyren Williams, who was one of the hardest backs to rank due to the concerns around Stafford's back issues. As of right now, I've got Williams going for over 1,300 yards on the ground, 1,500 all-purpose yards, and 11 total touchdowns. At number 8 is James Cook, and I have to say I'm worried that I've got him too far down the list. I think Cook could have a monster season and is my dark horse to challenge for All-Pro status. I have him with 1,200 rushing yards, 1,500 all-purpose yards, and 12 touchdowns. But I won't be surprised if his actual numbers are much higher. At number 7 is Bucky Irving. I look for him to rush for 1,300 yards, possibly crack the 1,600 threshold for all-purpose yards, and rake in 13 total touchdowns. At number 6 is Jonathan Taylor, who I expect to have 1,400 yards rushing, 1,600 all-purpose yards, and 12 scores. Number 5 is Bijan Robinson. This is the lowest I can see him ranked, barring injury, and I wouldn't be surprised that at the end of the season, Bijan outperforming my prediction and earning All-Pro honors. I have him rushing for 1,300 yards, over 1,900 all-purpose, and 13 touchdowns. Let me know in the comments if you think I've got him underrated. At number 4 is Derrick Henry, who is by far my favorite player in all of sports. I'd love to predict a 2,000-yard season for him and have him number 1 on this list. And I'll be hoping he can do it. But I've got to be realistic here and expect some regression. I'm predicting him to have 1,500 yards on the ground, possibly cracking 1,600, over 1,800 all-purpose yards, and 14 touchdowns. Still, a fantastic season, but not quite his 2024 numbers. At number 3 is Saquon Barkley, and I'm fully expecting my comment section to blow up over this one. But hear me out. Again, this isn't a ranking based on talent, because Saquon and Henry would be top 2 if that were the case. This is about production for this season. And as dominant as Saquon and the Eagles' O-line still is, it's not realistic to expect last year's numbers. Most backs get injured following a 2,000-yard season or have significantly less production due to other factors. I still have Saquon having a great year. 1,500 yards on the ground, 1,800 all-purpose yards, and 14 scores. At number 2 is Jahmyr Gibbs, who is arguably the most electrifying player in the game today. I would have Gibbs number 1 on this list, if not for 4 reasons. 1. The loss of the play calling of Ben Johnson. 2. The retirement of center Frank Ragnow. 3. Sharing the workload with David Montgomery. I think Gibbs goes off for 1,200 yards on the ground, which is less than last year, but has 1,800 all-purpose yards and 16 touchdowns. I predict Gibbs earns second-team All-Pro honors because, like I said, there's 4 reasons why he's not first in my rankings. And the 4th reason is because Josh Jacobs is going to have a career year. Jacobs is a true workhorse running back, possessing power, agility, quickness, and can be a threat in the passing game. I expect him to earn first-team All-Pro honors and be mentioned at least in the MVP discussion with around 1,700 rushing yards, 1,900 all-purpose yards, and 17 total touchdowns. So that's my list for the top 10 running backs for the NFL this season based on production. Follow for more rankings, predictions, and commentary.